You are listening to WTUZ Radio Podcast. Welcome to WTUZ Radio Podcast. I am your host, Rhonda. Okay, family, ciao. Things are really heating up regarding the VAC. Specifically, yesterday it was a big to do with rapper Nicki Minaj coming out against, and to be fair, I want to be fair. Not like she came out against, she made some statements regarding the VAC, and it went viral to the point where it is worldwide. So let's just take a quick look at what went on. And child is enrolled. Like I said, it went worldwide all the way up to the White House, back to her particular country that she's from. So let's take a look at this real quick. Okay. White House acknowledges Nicki Minaj invite to discuss the VAC. Are you a Grammy-winning rapper? And sorry, this is from Forbes. Are you a Grammy-winning rapper with millions of social media followers who won't get the VAC because it made your cousin friend's testicles swell? If so, the White House wants to talk. However, if you are an ordinary Jane Q public who may be afraid the VAC will make you infertile, the White House has a different message for you. Get the shot or get fired. Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledged Thursday that the Biden administration has offered to explain the vaccine to Nicki Minaj one-on-one after the Bang Bang rapper made the eyebrow-raising claim that her cousin's friend had become impotent after getting vaxxed to her 22 million Twitter followers earlier this week. But the Biden administration has yet to hear if she will take them up on the offer. We offered a call with Nicki Minaj and one of our doctors to answer the questions she had about the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine. I'm just going to say her first name in case I'm mispronouncing her last name. Jen told reporters, "This is pretty standard and something we do all the time." White House Press Secretary Jen says the Biden administration wants to discuss the safety and effectiveness of the VAC to rapper Nicki Minaj. The Trinidadian-born rapper, 38, tweeted Wednesday that she had been invited to the executive mansion, but Jen claimed the idea was only being discussed at staff levels and noted that the White House was not even at the point of discussing the mechanism or format or anything along those lines. It was simply an offer to have a conversation and an early stage call. When asked if Minaj would accept the offer, she responded, "We'll see. I don't have anything to predict for you." Exactly 7 days earlier, President Biden raged against unvaxxed Americans in a televised address, saying that their refusal has cost us all and pronouncing that getting the shots was not about freedom or personal choice. That's a very bold statement, family. I'm just going to read what he said now. Refusal has cost us all, and pronouncing that getting the shots was not about freedom or personal choice. That's a bold statement, okay? Now, I'm sure everybody at this point has heard what went on with Nicki Minaj. She was on Twitter doing her thing, just talking in general about why she wasn't going to an event. And the VAT came up, and she said she's apprehensive. She wants to do a little bit more research. And then she brought in something where somebody told her about some family, not her family members, but one of her family members, something or the other, honey, had wind up getting side effects from the vax, which was the swollen testicles. And that's when everything went viral, saying that she was providing disinformation. And in this young lady's defense, to me, she was bullied. I'm sorry. She was bullied. To me, it seems like attack dogs were literally sicked upon her. And even if, let's say, it was inaccurate, supposedly and allegedly, the side effects of her family members, whoever that was, did not get the swollen testicles from the VAC. That became the forefront of her entire conversation. And it's wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's absolutely wrong. And they are trying to, in my opinion, trying to control a narrative. Okay? And because she has so much reach, that's why the attack dogs were sent out. Okay? Now remember, last Friday, literally, I was given an update on the VAC and specifically how schools, the local school here, one of the local schools, were going to pay 12-year-olds if they get the VAC. And I was putting that information out to make parents aware of it so they will know what's going on, so they can have the conversation with their children on how they want to handle it. Now, again, I'm going to say, and I will continue to say, I don't care whether folks get it or not get it. That is their choice. Okay? It's none of my business whether or not somebody has it or not. My concern and my stance, again, is actually the opposite of what the president is saying. Not about freedom or personal choice. Well, if it ain't about freedom or personal choice, what are you really saying to us? I mean, what am I really missing in this picture? Okay? Now, some can argue that with Nicki Minaj coming out doing all what she did, that, some say it's a publicity stunt. Some say that it could be controlled opposition for her coming out and doing this to eventually win her over, and she's going to change her mind, and therefore that's going to change a lot of her followers, which she has 22 million on Twitter alone. Here's my stance on that. Whether or not any of that is true, I don't know. And let's say that it is, or let's say that it isn't. Here's my take on it. Consider this disclosure of opposed opposition. I'm going to say that again. Whether or not, if Nicki has any hidden agendas behind what she did, coming out just stating she wants to do more research before she makes a decision on whether or not to get it, and this blowing up into a huge media event, What I am saying is consider this as a disclosure. That's my opinion. This is a direct disclosure to the world of folks not agreeing and the reasons why they are not agreeing. Okay? So now it has been on record. The world knows that there are folks with opposition. They are also putting on display, in my opinion, how media is used to try to control a narrative. Okay? So just in my opinion, you have layers to this whole blow up with Nicki Minaj. Okay? All right, so let's finish this up, and then I do want to actually play the vid with old girl, the press secretary, responding. In that speech, Biden announced that the Labor Department would require companies employing more than 100 workers to make employees get the vac or institute weekly testing or face hefty fines. Literally, that happened last Friday. As I was about to close out my video, I saw a breaking news story come across my screen, and then I had to air what he was talking about over the air. So I'm not going to go through that again. Okay, they stopped it because I was going to skip through it. All right, but last thing again, this is from Biden. We've been patient, the president warned, but our patience is wearing thin. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I think that's threatening. I think that's bullying. That's my personal opinion. That is threatening. That is bullying. Because up there, you specifically said, and this is based on his press conference or breaking news story last week with President Biden, when he wants to put a mandate across the board. Okay, so first he said it wasn't about freedom. And now then he also said we've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. That's a threat. To me, that is a threat. That is bullying. Facing a potential public relation firestorm over the administration's seemingly kowtow to celebrity, Paskey was more conciliatory on Thursday, saying that while the administration hoped that anyone who has a big platform is going to project accurate information about the effectiveness of the vac, the safety of the vac, and the availability of the vac at the same time, it can be true. It both can be true. We also recognize that people have questions out there. Okay, so whatever, lady, y'all trying to clean it up a little bit now. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and I'm sorry I'm all over the place, y'all, because I'm trying. Let's switch to what she actually said.
Ask you about some recent vaccine misinformation that's been out there and ask you to clarify. There seems to be a difference of opinion between Nicki Minaj and the White House about what she was invited to do. Did the White House extend an invitation to Nicki Minaj to come here?
Well, first, we don't see this as a point of tension or disagreement. I want you all to know that we engage all the time with people who have big public platforms or profiles. Some of them we talk about, some of them are here, some of them you don't even know about because they're just looking for questions to be answered. We offered a call with Nicki Minaj and one of our doctors to answer questions she had about the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine. This is pretty standard and something we do all the time. It was a very early stage call at a staff level, staff to staff, and we weren't even at the point of discussing, or we're not even at the point of discussing, I should say at this point, the mechanisms or the format or anything along those lines. It was simply an offer to have a conversation and an early stage call.
And do you think that's going to happen?
We'll see. I don't have anything to predict for you.
What kind of responsibility do you think someone like Nicki Minaj has, someone with a really big platform, when it comes to talking about the vaccine?
Well, our hope is that anyone who has a big platform is going to project accurate information about the effectiveness of the vaccine, the safety of the vaccine, and the availability of the vaccine. At the same time, and both can be true, we also recognize that people have questions out there. They have questions they want to have answered by their doctors. We have doctors who can answer questions. And this is something, again, in our outreach to celebrities, it follows a pretty standard process. We officials who are working on these issues and engage in regular conversations, offer to answer questions, offer to do that privately sometimes it's done publicly. And I would say that if we believed that everybody who had skepticism about the vaccine wasn't someone we should engage with or talk to, we wouldn't have made the progress we've made. I mean, remember back in December, only 33% of the American people were open to getting vaccinated. Now more than 75% have had at least one shot. So part of our strategy and our objective from the beginning has been engaging with people who have questions to help answer their questions.
Go ahead. I'd like to ask you a little bit more about the some of what's detailed in the upcoming book of Woodward and Cashapp.
Okay, so of course I don't care nothing about that. So as you all can see, that was coming from the press conference briefing, literally from yesterday. Okay, so again, a rapper, okay, she, has a big following, has made it all the way up to the White House with getting under some folk skin, and based on how she felt, she wanted to do more research, this, that, and the third. And using an example of something that somebody else told her had side effects. It went viral. It went worldwide. It even went to the point of her, where she was born, Trinidad folks. I don't know if they have a prime minister or whatever, honey. He even came out up there telling us she shouldn't have done that, because that caused them to scramble to try to find the person that said they had the side effects from the vac, yada 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 yada. Okay, so she had the White House reaching out to her. She had the Trinidadian government officials where she was born make a press conference about it. She had immediately mainstream media news commentary jumping on it, telling her what she should not have done. And specifically, I would have to agree with her, bringing on a Black woman to do it, to kind of quote, quote, chastise her. And in that woman's commentary, she had the nerve to say what you're not going to do or what you should not be doing with our community. That pissed me off. It pissed me off because it goes back to the herd mentality with folks trying to force a narrative on everyone. This young lady has every right to state her opinions. She has every right to say what she wants to do for her body. And she has every right to say it with her fans via her social media platform. I'm sorry. She has that right. Now, the only criticism that folks could have possibly made against all of this would say, well, you maybe should get verification on what your cousin's friends, third to the degree, said. You maybe should have put a disclaimer on what you said somebody else said. Really, that should have been the only criticism in this. But trying to tell this young lady how she should use her platform regarding medical decisions that she wants to make with her body, it's wrong. And then the mainstream media ran with it and didn't even list all of the stuff that the lady said. She had to go back on the platform. I think she said, if I'm not mistaken, she went on another platform because she said that Twitter had blocked her. And then Twitter gonna scramble and come out and say they didn't do that, whatever. So I think she did a long, lengthy response. I think that was on Instagram. Outlining, no, that's not how that jumped off. Because she was supporting people. As she responding to folks, she was supporting them. If you decide to take the vac, I truly understand. And then she also supported the people that didn't want to take the vac and that were being forced to take the vac because of employment. So I'm reporting on this for two folds. Number one, to just show you all how the censorship game is way, way, way out of control. It is extremely, extremely out of control. And us YouTubers, we have been telling y'all this for years. We've been telling you that for years. And folks on the other social media platforms, I can only speak for YouTube because that's what I use. We've been saying it for years, to the point now that even the mention, even if you're doing topics on controversial stuff, so specifically this particular video will be limited from a monetization standpoint. That's censorship. That's straight up censorship. Folks, we are in some interesting times. I personally believe that they are trying to push the maximum, take it to the limit on how much personal rights that they can take away from folks. This is truly, truly a crossroad. And that's why it's such a controversy, and that's why it is literally split among the country. So that's the main reason I'm following this. I'm also going to start following it a little bit more closely because there's also controversy within their own circles. So meaning the doctors, the administrators, the politicians on dosage and this whole booster controversy, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to follow that closely as well. Because, I'm going to keep pointing out not only what's going on from a censorship standpoint, from pushing the envelope on mandating it to everyone across the board, mandating it federally, and that includes the schools, giving incentives to children directly. I'm also going to discuss the flip side on how now they're coming up with, should you get a booster, not get a booster? There's even controversy with that among themselves. This particular stuff, it's really, really serious from the standpoint of you have to make a decision individually where you stand on this issue. It's up to you. I'm just bringing you the information, but I will be pointing out hypocrisy, censorship, and pushing agendas. Okay, so now again, I don't know if even this whole Nicki thing was all the way staged. I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care. I'm standing on the side that basically she has a right to do what she did and say what she said. And I'm also, just from my personal opinion, again, say that this is pure disclosure. This is a disclosure to say, yes, it was notated that folks had questions, that folks wanted to make their own decisions. Okay? So we'll just see where this continues to go. It's definitely ramping up. Ciao, it is what it is. So we'll leave it at that for now. So this is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast. I wish everyone well on this Friday. Peace and love, family.